If you run a business, especially in health and fitness, you're not just running KPIs and SOPs, you're creating a culture. Whether you know it or not, both things are happening simultaneously whenever we're dealing with human beings. There's certain things that we care about, and there's certain things that we don't care about. And if I was talking to a 10-year-old, that's probably exactly how I would explain culture. It's what we choose to do and be, but more importantly, it's what we say we don't like and what we won't do. Now, we've had some videos recently where we've talked about what it looks like to coach an individual, what it looks like to cultivate a team and coach each other. But the term culture is probably the long-term application of both of those activities, the day-to-day coaching and the cultivation of a team. So it's a big, nebulous concept, but what's more actionable than trying to define it is a tool that I want to give you that I think I'll be using for the rest of my life, at least as long as I'm in business. So many things when you were hiring a consultant or when you read business books encourage you to have a mission statement. They encourage you to write out a vision. They encourage you to do things like come up with core values. And I can tell you that up until this point, that's just been totally aspirational. It's been just throwing shit to the wall and hoping that something there resonates with me and the others that I work with. But this process here is a wonderful way to reverse engineer things that have already happened and really try to hold on to the concepts that you know you've seen play out in real time. So this is exactly how it goes. If you want to figure out what your culture looks like, or rather what you want to continue your culture to be about, you're going to need to do just these few steps here. Step one, if you have a team, get together with a few people that have been working with you for some time. As a group, and each person individually will do this as you guys are huddled up, I want you to name 3 people that you've worked with or people that have previously worked for the business that you're involved in. Think about, of all of those people that you've worked with, if you had the ability to clone and make 100 of them, you could take over the world. The essence of who this person is has some characteristics and some attributes that if you were able to replicate them, it would go very well for the business that you run. Take a few minutes and write that out. Take a few minutes and answer the second question. Why? What about this person is so good? Describe their vibe by writing it down in a few words. What sticks out that makes them unique or special? What is it about this person that is so rad? Lastly, as you guys share who you came up with, see if there's any redundancies. See if there's one person that came up more times than not. And try to agree upon one person, or if you've been in business a long time, maybe a few people that you feel like all represent one particular aspect that you want to make sure you clone and emulate. So as you're reducing this person down, what you're doing is you're reducing the experience and the qualities of those all-stars that make your business shine the brightest. This isn't something hypothetical. You've seen it play out, and you know that this works. So what are those points of value? Well, I guess it's to determine what you really care about. But like we said to the 10-year-old, what you want to make sure doesn't happen. What a violation of that value, of that attribute, of that aspirational quality is that you want to make sure never happens. Now, when you go through this exercise, you'll probably have 5 to 6 words or phrases that come out of it. At least I know that we did. And from here, here's how you use it. You write it up for everyone to see. Hey, we did this little exercise, guys, and as a small cohort of staff members, these are the words that we came up with. You'll have to add some color to it. That's step number 2. Guys, we added these words because these are things that we have seen, not just hypothetically came up with. These are things that we have seen really represent us at our best. From there, add some stories. Add some stories of when in the past this has actually happened. One of ours is a constant and never-ending improvement. That's one of our things that we really value, is constantly learning and getting better. And we have a ton of stories of people that we currently work with and those that we previously worked with that exemplify that particular attribute. And then lastly, use it as a filter. Use it as a filter every time you hire somebody and present all of those things that you wrote out and say like, hey, to work here, this is what these things are. This is what it means. Here's a cute little story that illustrates how this is valuable to us and how we've used it in the past. Every time you have a meeting as a staff, go over these. Say, hey, are we in line with these things that we said that we're about? Do we really care about improving? Well, how have we shown that we're improving over the last quarter? And then lastly, if people don't consistently hold up their end of the bargain, if they're not constantly showing that they believe in these values, fire them. The point is that every business, every culture has a greater good. Something that says, oh, we do this and not this in this situation. We know this will help us get back to who we are if we ever get off track. Now that's a short video and that's a short exercise, but I'll be doing this as long as we're in business, and I hope that helps you out too. This has been a Monty Mill statement about incremental health coaching business change, brought to you by the good people at BPR.